One doctor, one evaluation, one diagnosis, incompetent. One result, millions of dollars transferred within 48 hours. Coincidence? Not when you understand how trust traps reach their deadly conclusion. We've seen how trust traps begin with kindness in part 1, then evolve into financial entanglement in part 2. But the most dangerous phase is still coming, the manufactured crisis. This is part 3 of our series, where we expose how predators weaponize the medical system to complete their theft. This is where billions of dollars in inheritance vanish forever. The manufactured crisis typically occurs 12 to 24 months into a trust trap scheme. This is when predators stop being subtle and move to secure their theft permanently. They manufacture a medical or legal crisis that justifies immediate access to substantial assets while simultaneously excluding family members from any protective role. Red flag number 13, sudden medical evaluations. Be immediately suspicious of sudden medical evaluations by unfamiliar physicians, especially when your loved one has had stable healthcare relationships for years. Trust trap operators often shop for compliant medical professionals. The timing coincides with financial goals, not medical needs. Red flag number 14, the diagnosis factory. Watch for medical opinions that appear coordinated rather than independent. Legitimate medical evaluations take time and involve comprehensive assessment. Be suspicious of evaluations that reach predetermined conclusions too quickly. Multiple practitioners shouldn't use nearly identical language in their reports. Red flag number 15, family exclusion during crisis. Be alarmed when family members are suddenly excluded from medical appointments. Predators need privacy to complete their schemes without witnessing oversight. Doctor-patient confidentiality becomes weaponized against family involvement. Longtime family involvement is suddenly characterized as interference. Red flag number 16, attempts to access substantial assets immediately after incapacity declarations. Legitimate conservatorships focus on protection first, asset access second. There's sudden urgency to transfer money or change investments. Large withdrawals or transfers happen within days of capacity determinations. Red flag number 17, communication blackout. Question instructions to financial institutions not to communicate with family members. This creates an information vacuum that prevents detection of ongoing theft. Banks are told family members are estranged or harmful. Account statements and notifications are redirected. Red flag number 18, isolation as evidence. Be skeptical when isolation is used as evidence of need for protective intervention. Trust trap operators often cite the very isolation they created. Lack of family contact becomes justification for their continued control. The victim's dependency is presented as proof of family abandonment. Let me share another case that perfectly illustrates manufactured crisis tactics. This involves a different widow, and we'll call her Dorothy, who had built a successful business with her late husband. After 18 months of gradual financial entanglement, the scheme reached its climax. An unfamiliar doctor suddenly appeared at Dorothy's assisted living facility. Dorothy wasn't told why the doctor was there, creating confusion and fear. The doctor conducted what Dorothy thought was a routine health check. In reality, it was a coordinated capacity evaluation designed to produce a predetermined result. The evaluation lasted only 20 minutes, but resulted in a comprehensive incapacity finding. The doctor's report claimed Dorothy was incompetent to manage her affairs. The manufactured crisis accelerated. The licensed fiduciary immediately moved to take over Dorothy's bank accounts and real estate valued at over $7 million using the doctor's report. Dorothy's own estate attorney supported the takeover, betraying his client. These asset takeovers were scheduled with no family notice. The family was excluded from all medical and legal processes. Family learned of the scheme by happenstance. They contacted me at Hackard Law. We put a process in place to stop the scheme. What made this obviously manufactured? The timing coincided perfectly with the fiduciary's financial goals, not medical needs. The doctor's evaluation was rushed and superficial compared to standard practice. Dorothy's longtime physicians, who knew her very well, were never consulted. The report used language that justified immediate asset control rather than gradual intervention. How we exposed and defeated the scheme. Our legal response was swift, and it was comprehensive. We immediately obtained an independent medical evaluation from qualified geriatric specialist. The evaluation clearly demonstrated Dorothy's mental capacity and decision-making ability. We exposed the coordination between the fiduciary doctor and estate attorney. We documented the timeline, showing financial motivation rather than medical necessity. We reversed the trust provisions that supported the scheme. The results: the licensed fiduciary was forced to withdraw from any involvement with Dorothy. The compromised estate attorney was warned about confidentiality violations. Dorothy's assets were protected from further exploitation. A new trust was established with Dorothy's son as successor trustee. How do predators manipulate medical evaluations? Well, they control the narrative presented to physicians. They schedule evaluations when victims are tired or medicated or stressed. They provide background information that paints family members as abusive or as greedy. They exploit physicians' natural desire to protect vulnerable patients. A doctor presented with a story about an isolated elderly woman being harassed by greedy children may feel compelled to recommend protective intervention without realizing that they're being manipulated. The legal system vulnerability. Trust trap operators understand that courts want to protect vulnerable adults. They frame their theft as protection, their control as care. They present themselves as the only people who truly care about the victim's welfare. They use the victim's own words, obtained through months of manipulation, against family members. Statements like, "My children only call when they want money," become evidence of family dysfunction. But there is hope. Trust traps can be defeated when families know what to look for and act decisively. In Part 4, our final episode, we'll reveal the specific actions that can stop these schemes and protect your loved ones. If your loved one is facing sudden medical evaluations or you're being excluded from important decisions, this could be a manufactured crisis in progress. Don't let predators use the medical and legal systems against your family. Contact Hackard Law immediately. We know how to spot manufactured crises, and we know how to stop them. Subscribe for our final episode, where we'll give you the exact steps to defeat trust traps before it's too late. Hackard Law, advocating for the vulnerable, one estate at a time. If you found this information helpful, please like and share this video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more legal insights and updates. Leave a comment below if you have any questions. We're here to help.